Well, hello and welcome back to Prime. Do you know the Salvation Army's Doing the Most Good Luncheon raised more than $3 million last year? That's actually the most raised by any luncheon in the Dallas area, and they're hoping to do even better this year.
Yes, and Stephen Hood is the COO of the Salvation Army in DFW, and Lynn McBee is on the advisory board, and both are here to tell us about all the upcoming events with the Salvation Army.
And the big goals you guys have for this year. So,
enormous goals.
How are you going to do it, Lynn?
We've got a team.
3 million's a big
I'm
number.
very lucky to have a wonderful team in place. We've got Mark Shortman with Coca-Cola, and he is the luncheon, event chairman. We've got Gina Betts, who's with Lock Lord. She's a partner there. She's our table sales. And then we've got Shelley Seals, who is the vice president of Neiman Marcus, and she's our production. So we've got an incredible team, a wonderful board, fabulous staff. And so cumulatively, we will get there. We're marching towards that goal.
And $3 million last year, that's incredible.
That's a large number.
Well, especially with this economy. I mean, that's actually really impressive. And tell us about what the money for the Doing the Most Good Luncheon, what are we working for here with this one?
Well, the funds that we receive through the luncheon go to support the Salvation Army's work across the Metroplex. And with 19 centers of operation, reaching out into the community with over 70 programs and services, you can imagine that does take a great deal of need.
Oh, absolutely.
So just to continue to provide those services to the community.
Well, and it's such a busy time of year for you guys right now. Anyway, tell us, when is the luncheon, just so we know what date?
Sure. It's Thursday, November 15th at the Hilton Anatole at noon.
Good deal.
Yes. What all will it entail?
Well, we're having Amy Grant this year.
Wow,
and she is, the contemporary Christian singer who really has had a musical.
So big.
Yes, very big.
Or still is big,
still
but I remember
in the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the 80s when I was in college.
80s and 90s. Yeah.
And she was really, she's had a 30-year music career, of course, married to Vince Gill. And she's really the first Christian contemporary singer that's kind of crossed over and done pop and rock.
I was going to say, she did. She had pop hits.
She did, and she kind of blazed the trails for others to do that too. So we're really excited. She's got a very strong message.
I bet she looks the same, doesn't she?
I bet
she was timeless.
Yeah, she's lovely.
And you chose her, right? How did you decide on her?
Well, part of the reason is while she is a tremendous success, she's had her own challenges in life, and they're stories that many people can relate to, and of course, being a faith-based organization, and her faith is just a natural fit for her to speak on behalf of the Salvation Army.
Wow.
And I hear it's a family affair for her. Is she having?
Well, musical family. Now we're hopeful, but we can't make any promises about any other additional guests. Yeah.
That would be really neat.
A nice hint there. That's exciting.
So who are the other leaders that are helping with the luncheon?
Well, I've named, Mark Shortman, Gina Betts, Shelley Seals, and then, of course, our incredible advisory board. And we've got an underwriting team and, table sales team. And so it really is a group effort. So.
And this is leading into the holiday season, which we know is so busy for the Salvation Army. I know we're all familiar with Red Kettle's campaign. I have 3 little children that any chance I get, I make sure that they are going and doing that. And the collectors are always so kind. But tell us about what, not only in terms of collection and fundraising, but tell us what the holidays mean for the Salvation Army, because you're doing a ton of work and we're all grateful for that. So,
well, the luncheon is really the kickoff for our fundraising campaign annually. And so we look at that event and start to raise awareness of what the Salvation Army is doing in the community.
Right.
Of course, as you mentioned, the Red Kettle campaign, as we start, has become a holiday tradition to hear those bells ringing.
Absolutely.
And also another program at the same time is about the Angel Tree program.
Oh, I love the Angel Trees. Absolutely.
And it's a great opportunity for folks to select and adopt a child during that season to provide gifts. And last year, we provided over 250,000 gifts for children across the Metroplex.
That is just
wow.
So we think about a wonderful story about a lady, Marilyn, who turned to us for help at a time when she had 3 children and 1 granddaughter living in the house. And one of her daughters was sick, was put into the hospital, and Marilyn took the time off to make sure that she was caring for the other children in the house. Well, unfortunately, she lost her job. And she turned to the Salvation Army and said, I'm not going to be able to make it this Christmas and to provide a happy holiday season.
Right.
And the Salvation Army was able to step up and to make sure that those children had a happy holiday season.
And I think that's what a lot of people really have a hard time between making the connection and saying, I want to help, and how do I help? And you know, we will give, you know, some money when we are walking into Target and we see the red kettle there. But and angel trees have been fabulous. I think you guys have really pioneered vehicles to where people can feel that they're being more effective and getting it directly there. Do you find that people really seek out those things? Do you find, even with the luncheon, I bet a lot of people think these are only society affairs, but...
No. As a matter of fact, we have red kettles on the table. I mean, it's very much our kickoff.
Sweet.
And, you know, the one thing about the angel tree and also about the kettle, for me personally, is that there's no barriers to giving. It's for everyone. Your child likes to do it. So a little, I mean, I ring the bell, and you've got the little ones, and you've got the older, and you've got every walk of life that can contribute and feel like they're really helping people that are in need. And so we offer an accessible way for everybody to give, to your point. So
and we were talking before this, I'm a part of the junior auxiliary, and most of those girls, and now guys, they're starting one for the guys too, volunteer to go out and ring the bells, and it's just it's fun actually. It is. My day got canceled because of the weather, but
well, we have indoor opportunities.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I will sign up this year for
I'll
sign up this year for that for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, every dime and every dollar that gets dropped into that kettle goes to help support the work.
That's what I was going to say. Is I think that the Salvation Army has a sterling reputation. That I know that there are so many organizations that people can give to, and you ask yourself a lot of questions about really what am I going to support. I think that the news is always aflame with nonprofits that aren't really doing what you expect that they're doing. But you guys, how long has Salvation Army been around now?
Oh my goodness. Well, Salvation Army has been around for approximately 140 years. We are a worldwide organization. But in Texas, and the Salvation Army started in Dallas 125 years ago.
Wow.
So actually next year we'll be recognizing 125 years of service.
Wow.
So
That's
much
fantastic.
Consistent good. How many people do you think you help each day providing meals?
Oh, on an annual basis, we're providing just under 1 million meals to the citizens of the Metroplex. At Carpi Collins downtown, Social Services Center, we average about 800 people a night that we shelter and care for.
That's amazing.
So when you think about the homeless services, substance abuse programs, domestic violence, the Salvation Army is there to really focus on the needs of the people and how can we help.
In our last segment, we talked a bit about first responders. My husband's a Dallas police officer, and he comes home every night and he has these stories of that I know really touch him, but it's not, you know, we talk statistics, we can say 1 million meals, but thinking of that individual mother who was stressing about, you know, she may have left a violent relationship and she has her children, but to know that you have given that person hope for another day, I think we can't overestimate the value of what it is that you're doing in people's lives. Because I think a lot of people also assume, oh, this is, people get used to handouts and they live like this, but it's really bridging that gap and helping them get through these difficult times.
Last Christmas, I had the opportunity to go and to make a pickup of some angel tree gifts, and they were waiting at the store to be picked up. And so I said, listen, I have some time, so I'm going to drive by, I'll pick them up. Lady stopped me and she said, are you with the Salvation Army? And I said, yes, I am. She said, well, let me tell you this brief story. And she said, 2 years ago, I was in need, and I turned to the Salvation Army, and I was a recipient of gifts. She said, through the help of the Salvation Army, I've been able to move past, and now I've adopted an angel for the first time to be able to give back. So we've seen that come full circle.
I think that's
fantastic.
And
it really almost just tears to my eyes thinking about how we've been able to make a difference in the life of that family.
And you hear about, I mean, and the children, you know, that those children that will someday, mother will be able to tell them and they'll come back. So. And Lynn, you make us all look a little bad because you are so amazing. And why do you do what you do? I'm so...
Well, I grew up doing what I do. I came from a family that was giving and generous and really instilled in us that this is what you do for those that are in need. I'm from a very small town, so you know everybody digs in and helps their neighbor when you're from a small town because it's very obvious about what the need is. You know, here sometimes in Dallas, I mean, we get in our pockets, and if you're not in some of those areas, you forget about that need. So that need is always, you know, I've been very keenly attuned to that, and I really do love helping, and I'm kind of like my dad. I would give you the shirt off my back if you asked
for
it.
It's a cute
Maybe
one.
not right now, but it's and the Salvation Army is just something that you know, it's the basic human needs like the shelter and the clothing and the food, but it's the spiritual piece, the piece of hope, the piece of you can be broken and we're going to be your friend and we're going to love you and we're going to care about you and we're going to do everything we can to get you back on your feet. And it moves me to work hard to try to raise this $3 million. And
now it's 3.5 million now.
It's growing by the minute, so maybe the interview's going to end. We can anyway.
So y'all are using Facebook for the first time this year.
Oh boy!
Can you tell us what that entails?
Well, we're trying to make sure that we're able to look to that next generation of giver, that
That's
next
important.
supporter, and we have a great heritage, but we're looking forward to using the opportunities of how other people and the younger generation communicating and staying current with that.
So Twitter next year?
Well, I think we do have a Twitter account.
Oh, okay, good. You're
I can be honest.
tweeting.
Well, I can be honest. I don't tweet.
So what are some more locations? I want to go back to the Angel Tree a little bit. Where are some more locations where we can go and choose an angel?
We will have some at the Galleria,
Okay.
North Park Mall. We have approximately 12 different
That's
malls
great.
across the Metroplex that will.
Hewlin Mall.
Hewlin
It's
Mall.
Redbird.
Right.
Redbird.
I'd leave it to
Hewlin.
Lynn to know the malls.
All the malls.
No, I think that to your point, Lynn, and talking about the small town, the community, I think our last segment with April Box Chamberlain talked about the rising tide lifting all ships.
Yeah.
And I think so as these people are coming out and realizing that it's, whether it be the Red Kettle or whether it be really taking on the Angel Tree and teaching those lessons. I mean,
Exactly.
the next
Exactly.
generation is not just the young people like Paige. The next generation is our children. And what are we doing
Showing
to make
them what
sure?
philanthropy is and how you give to others and how you don't take anything in life for granted. It's all a blessing. So,
Do you have any
absolutely.
touching stories or things that stand out in your mind?
You know, I think for me probably, well, there's so many things with the Army. I could talk about, you know, ringing the bell and seeing the child, you know, kind of being a little bit apprehensive and then going up and putting it in and just, you know, kind of being joyous that they are helping. And then, you know, serving meals down at Carpy Collins and just seeing. And we've got a very methodical process. We've got the men and then we've got the women and then we've got, you know, we kind of segregate the populations and really kind of watching the effect that we have on folks. Just, you know, a basic meal. I mean, just
That you take for granted.
that
yeah.
we take for granted, and they really are. They go through the line and they're polite and they, well, can I have a little bit more gravy? And I really want to, you know, I can have 2 pieces of bread. And you know me, I'm like, Lynn, we're running out of bread. You're giving everybody 2 pieces. You're giving too much. And so it's just there's so many things. You know, and the Army's doing good work every day, every day.
Well, I know that people are looking forward to doing the Most Good Luncheon on November 15th. And you could go to their website, salvationarmydfw.org, and it's at the Hilton Anatole in Dallas.
Correct.
And watch for your red kettles, watch for your angel
Yes,
trees,
yes,
and
absolutely.
watch for Lynn. She may be ringing a bell, and
I
Stephen
will.
might be picking up. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us this week on Prime. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We'll see you next week.